But this is a huge story yesterday in college football. And on our website right now, ESPN.com, Pete Thamel, Heather Dinich have the story. USC, that's, of course, Key's alma mater. UCLA, I mean, we're talking about Pac-12. I mean, that's royalty in the Pac-12.
Yeah, USC is royalty in the Pac-12 for sure. It's like, look, check this out.
Leaving the Pac-12 for the Big Ten in, I guess, 2 years, right? They'll begin play in 2024. Yeah. That's a huge story. Where did this come from?
Out of nowhere, right? I mean, it's like the Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving situation. USC goes and UCLA can tag along. USC don't go, UCLA doesn't go. That's just the way it is. They are hand in hand in terms of making this giant leap for money. Let's start. Because both are national brands, so it's not about the recruiting process like a lot of people think. Oh, they can recruit nationally. They recruit nationally anyway. There's players from all over the country that come to both of these universities because of the academics, not necessarily athletics. So
and the tradition,
and the tradition that for USC, UCLA is basketball, not the same. I think, though, when you look at it on the surface, it gives USC, let's just talk USC for a minute, a real legitimate shot at playing in national championships. If you lose one game in the Pac-12, you are done. They don't even, Heather Dinich them will dismiss you. Paul Feinbaum will dismiss you. But now if you lose one game in the Big Ten Conference, it's like, oh, okay, if they do this and make it to the Big Ten Championship, they can move on and wind up in the Final Four and all this other stuff. That's not the case with the Pac-12 Conference because the Pac-12 Conference is not as good in the middle to the bottom. You got the four teams, right? You got USC, UCLA, then Washington and Oregon are the ones who kind of hover around, and Utah comes up every now and then. But for the most part, that's pretty much it. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's not a lot of Arizonas in here. The Oregon State School, I mean, people like Cal, Stanford, there's nothing there. But if you go to the Big Ten Conference, you've got a little more umph. People, for whatever reason, feels like the Wisconsins of the world are really juggernauts. Iowa's always going to be that 9-0 team until they start to slip. Michigan State is making a little bit of a resurgence. You know, Ohio State is Ohio State. Penn State is Penn State. They're going to give you 9-10 wins every single year. Right. You know, Michigan is back now, Jim Harbaugh. So it's a big thing for USC and UCLA to get out of the conference. Now, the problem that I have is the travel. I'm not trying to travel all the way across the country. Just imagine if you had to go, if you USC, and you had to play in October at Notre Dame, which is a little cold, gray and cold. In the next week, you got to fly all the way back to play Wisconsin, for instance, in freezing temperatures for California kids. That's a lot of travel to go back and forward, and that's the only thing that I look at and go, the scheduling is going to be interesting to see.
You're talking about it from a full football perspective, of course, but it's all around.
Well, it could be, but yes,
you said UCLA is more a basketball school. Well, yeah, all right, but is playing in the Big Ten for a basketball program also a big time for Mick Cronin and company? Like that's still
that's
a big
time.
Deal, right?
Oh,
that's a big
huge.
Deal.
Huge.
But to take it to football, just quickly here. Is the concern you lose a lot of quarterbacks out of Southern California because they go to the SEC, right? Hadn't that been a concern?
Well, it's been a concern.
Is that why Lincoln Riley is at USC right now? Isn't that part of the reason?
It's a concern that we've lost. USC has lost, not necessarily the conference, but USC has lost several quarterbacks over the last couple years, most notably Bryce Young, which is from a high school that is a feeder school to USC in Mater Dei High. That's basically a feeder school.
Right.
And he decided to take his talents to Alabama. And then you got DJU from St. John Bosco, which was somewhat of a feeder school to USC, that he decided to go to Clemson. C.J. Stroud from the Inland Empire decided to go to Ohio State. And that's bad recruiting. That's all that was. It wasn't that these kids wouldn't have gone to USC. It's just the bad recruining of the last regime.
You don't think I'd rather play in the SEC than the Pac-12?
No.
It's not that?
No,
I'll get more looks. I'll play against more NFL level
not
stuff.
At all.
Okay.
USC is a feeder program to the National Football League. So when you think about it, Hahn, kids in Southern California would rather stay at home. But if you're not recruiting them the way that it needs to be and you're not winning, they go on the road. What the problem that USC had in the past is that they were lazy recruiting the star players. They just figured with USC, we can get them, they're going to do this.
Right.
UCLA has a different level of academic standards in terms of getting kids into UCLA. So Chip Kelly softened it a little bit, but they're still going to be tough to get kids in. But look, both of these institutions academically is on par with the highest institutions in America. And we talk about the Big Ten Conference. Big Ten schools academically are pretty strong. When you start talking about Indiana, you start talking about Michigan, Northwestern, those schools academically is pretty strong. So USC and UCLA, when they made this particular jump and looked at this conference, there's a lot of things that they have to factor in there. They can't weaken the academic standards just to go make money from a football standpoint or a basketball standpoint. People would lose their mind.
Well, I want you to react to something that Kirk Herbstreit talked about when it comes to this move and how it's something that really could change the landscape now in college football.
Keep your seatbelt on because they're not done. It's very, very hard for the ACC, the Big 12, and the Pac-12 to compete with the Big 2. And honestly, I think that's our future. I don't know how, I haven't spoken with anybody, but I think that's where this thing, when the dust settles, that's where we're going to be. With about 50 to 55 teams, half of them in the Big Ten, half of them in the SEC. For simplifying it, think AFC, NFC, and the NFL.
Key, give me a 30-second reaction to that.
He's right. I think in about 4 or 5 years, you're going to see a super conference. You're going to see, 50 to 60 teams fighting for the Super Bowl, so to speak.
So basically a two-conference system is because the Big 12 has already been kind of knocked down a peg. Now the Pac-12 probably as well. It'll end up just being a two-conference system in college football.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.